So are you wanting to be more expressive in your dancing? It's a tricky one, and I know it's really hard, but it's really important because at the end of the day, dancing is the visual expression of the music. So being expressive in your work is kind of what makes it an art. Anyway, my name's Claire and I was a professional dancer for 20 years and I've been teaching ballet for 10 years. So some tips to help you with your expression. First of all, start early. Literally, if you've just started doing ballet or any kind of dance really, if you've just started, you need to get going now. Literally from day one, start feeling how much you're enjoying it and let that show on your face. That's the first thing I'd say. Just let yourself show on your face how much you're enjoying it. Yeah, if you're doing something you enjoy, you generally smile a little bit and sort of think, oh yeah, this feels nice. So feel like that and allow that to come out when you're dancing. It's so easy to get caught up in doing the right thing, remembering the choreography, thinking of the technique and everything else, which we need to do, obviously, but it's so easy to get caught up in that and then get this blank, concentrating face, even a frown, yeah, which you really don't want while you're dancing, because if you're going to be on stage or if you're just wanting to perform for yourself or dance for yourself, you want to show that feeling on your face and in your movements. So I also suggest practicing in front of a mirror. I know that's going to sound really awkward and really weird, and you're going to think, oh, I've got to look at myself in the mirror and show my expression on my face, and that's just going to be disastrous and it's going to put me off completely. But what can happen? I used to think that I was smiling in every photograph. I'd take the photograph and I'd be like that. And in my head, I was smiling away, but I didn't realise that I'd had my mouth closed and I just go like a little inner smile. Sometimes you don't realise how much expression you need on your face for it to carry across to a camera or to an audience beyond the camera. Okay, so it's quite good to have a go. Please don't feel embarrassed, because I know it's awkward, but at the same time, if you see someone who's kind of half doing it on stage, that looks more embarrassing than if you see someone giving it full out, going for it, whatever. Yes, okay, giving it their full expression. So have a little practice. Do it in every class. Like I said, start from day one and do it in every class. In every class, before every exercise, hear the music and think, what kind of mood has that music got? What kind of mood is the movement? And let that come through in your feelings and emotions, and that should naturally come through on your face a little bit, and then you can just emphasize that a bit more. And what that does is it makes the performing aspect become second nature, just natural. Yeah, so in every exercise, do think about your breathing. Yes, with music, you obviously need to dance in time with the music and kind of showing the same mood as the music. But it also, you can use breathing and your breath to create light and shade in your movements. Yeah, so you can breathe in as your arms go up, out as they come down, and that immediately adds a certain expressiveness to your movements. And I don't mean just breathe in, I mean show your breathing in visibly. Yeah, that's quite an important one, because quite often you think, well, I am breathing in, I am breathing out, but you're not actually showing that breath. It's about the audience or the person behind the camera being able to see that breath and feel that breath with you. And that's what helps create that expressiveness in your dancing. So you've got two things that are going to give you a hint as to what the mood is going to be: the music and the movement. So music, you can have like a really bold, jolly tune that's in what we call a major key. If you don't know about music, don't worry about that. But you'll notice that some songs naturally sound happier and some songs will naturally sound a bit kind of wistful and sad and pensive. And that's because they've been written in what we call a minor key. I'm not a musician, so I don't know, I just know the specifics about that. But I can certainly hear the mood change between a song that's in a major and a minor key, and let that again show in your feeling. If you're doing something that's in a minor key and feels quite like pensive and, I don't like to say painful, but thoughtful and maybe a little sad, let that come across on your face. You don't have to go cheesy grin if the music is saying otherwise. And if it's a slow movement, that's generally again more pensive. I'm not saying that every slow movement is not happy, And so if you think some adages, some pas de deux, for example, are beautiful, joyous, lovely big movements because they're expressing love for each other. So, you know, again, you're thinking about the story that you're trying to convey, because most dancing is about conveying a story. Sometimes you will get a completely abstract piece, and that's really challenging in itself. And if that happens, I tend to think purely on the music. I let the music and the movement create the mood for me. And if I'm told otherwise by the choreographer, hopefully that gets it right. If I'm not told otherwise, rather. So yeah, you will sometimes get abstract stuff, but generally there will be a mood or an expression or a story being told, certainly in ballet especially. So let that become part of what you're doing. Yes, it could be you're telling a really serious story, so let that feel come from the heart. If you're doing modern and contemporary, the contraction is what shows the pain of whatever's going on. You don't have that so much in ballet, but you can still feel that same feeling that you would get in the contraction of modern. Yeah, so allow that pain, if it's pain, to actually materialize, not for real, but we're not talking method acting, we're talking about just feeling a little nugget of that emotion and then letting it transfer up to your face. Yes. If it's joyous, it really needs to be joyous. Yeah, your chest is open, your face is lifted. The smile is not just in your mouth; it's got to reach your eyes as well. It's like I tend to imagine I've just seen someone I'm really excited to see, like a best friend of mine or someone I absolutely adore, and it's going to make my day. And that is enough. I can recreate that feeling and get it in my chest and get it to come out of my face, hopefully. And that's what I try to encourage my dancers to do. If you're talking mechanically, okay, sometimes people find that a little bit hard. You think, okay, show your teeth for a start, because if you smile like that, it looks a bit half-hearted. So let your teeth show. Don't worry what your teeth look like. Let them show, because that's what's going to carry across to the audience. So let your smile big enough so your teeth are showing. Let your cheekbones come up and let it get to your eyes. We need the crinkly bits in the eyes. We need the sparkle in the eyes, because that is what's going to show the smile to the audience. And I have got massive, I hate to say it, I've got massive wrinkles in my forehead because I've been like that, lifting my eyebrows and smiling for so many years on stage. Okay, so it has its pluses and minuses, but that is one of the ways of really letting that joy show through your face. The movements, generally, the movement will also indicate what you're feeling. If it's like a really sharp, sparkly, beep, 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 little jumpy movement, that's generally quite happy, unless it's a really angry, like strong, really rigid type movements, or still jumps, but kind of aggressive jumps. Yeah, so again, you could see what the movement is depicting, and you can let that again filter up to your face. Feel it in your chest, feel it in your body, and let that filter up to your face, but also in your style of moving. So for example, a light little sparkly jumpy sequence that's quite jolly is going to have like really quick snappy little movements, sparkly feet, and a lovely expression of like, oh, this is really happy on your face. Whereas maybe a big grande allegro where it's quite down into the ground in between the jumps, then big jumps almost of anger, that again, that can come across slightly different. So you can let the movement help you. Or an adage or fondus can sometimes be quite sort of pensive as you're sort of really resisting through that movement. Even at the bar, start bringing in that emotion into your movements. There's one little girl I taught, and we had a light bulb moment one day, and thankfully it was just before an exam, so she got to use it in her exam. And I literally just said to them all, I said, feel like a ballerina. Actually imagine, I feel like a ballerina. I mean, I'm specifically talking about ballet here, but you can do that with any dance style. To really feel like, embody that style of dancing. So I said her to feel like a ballerina, and this little girl literally went from being someone who looked fine, suddenly went, transformed into this little ballerina, and it was fantastic. Yeah, so literally just imagining that the style of the movement or the genre of dance you're performing, and really embody it, really feel like that is who you are. That can help with the expressiveness as well. So again, we're going back to mechanics again. I've already talked about smiling. If you're doing a smile, show your teeth. If you're doing a frown, really show the frown. You can actually, get those two little lines, those little lines there that go, yeah, get them going. Or if you're, sad, you can really think, have the V of your eyebrows go that way. So thinking about the mechanics of what your face is doing. Obviously, it's much easier if you're feeling it here and then it transfers into your face. But sometimes people need a little bit more, specifics about it. So another thing with the mechanics is your posture helps. Yeah, certainly in ballet, you want to be upright. You want your open chest so that, again, that feeling can come forwards. But also, you want to lift your face slightly so the light shines on it. If I'm looking at the floor and concentrating on the choreography, I've got a shadow over my face, and I don't really get to show no one can see the light on my face. So that's a really important one. The other one is actually open your eyes. Again, you can lift your face, but look down here. And again, can you see how that shutters off my eyes? Yes, if I take my glasses off, it shutters off my eyes. And so it closes my eyes slightly. So you don't really see what's going on in my eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. And it's true. Yeah, so the audience needs to see your eyes, okay? And all of those combined will help make you more expressive in your dancing. So, number one, do it every day, do it every class. Start from day one, practicing feeling the music. Listen to the music, feel what the mood the music is in. Look at the movement, see what kind of mood the movement is doing. And it might be like brave 1 minute and then quite shy the next. So, literally within one exercise, you could have a variation of expressions. Practice in front of a mirror. Think about them, feeling that feeling and letting it show through, so that make sure those expressions on your face are big enough to carry across. And lift your face, open your eyes. Okay? So, let the audience see your expression, open your eyes so they can see it again, and make sure that expression is big enough on your face that the audience can see it. And let it transfer into your movements as well. Yes, there you go. That's my little sequence on how to be more expressive in dance. If you want to dance with me, do check the link in the caption and you can try one of my online classes, a bonus ballet class for you. We have a membership, the Bridge Ballet Club, which you can join and do class anytime you like. Or you can join me live, either on site or online in my local dance school. Don't forget to follow, save this for later, and share it with a friend. See you later. Bye.